Most traders never reach their full potential because they miss a really important element of trading. And Mark Douglas goes through it in Trading in the Zone. And it's something that I always remember and I never ever forget. And it's made the biggest difference in my trading career. Have you ever entered a trade and you get stopped out and then the trade runs in your favor and you're left there thinking, what happened? Oh my gosh, I could have been on that trade. I could have made a lot of money. Hi, I'm Marissa. I'm the founder of Method Trading. I'm a full-time Forex trader and trading coach. And I spent a lot of time trying to become profitable. It was really hard. I read Mark Douglas's book, Trading in the Zone, many times. And it wasn't until I started really reading sentences and thinking, what do those actually mean? And getting to the real depth of the meaning of some of the wisdom that Mark Douglas shared, that I started to make some changes in my trading and I actually became profitable. And today I'm going to go through one of those that has made the biggest difference in my actual trading. Back in 2020, I was taking a number of trades and none of them really ever worked out for me. But the most frustrating trades were the ones where I was scared because I'd already had a string of losses, but I thought, oh, I'll just enter this last trade. And I would get stopped out and I'd think, oh, great, just another loss. Maybe I'll just sit on the sidelines now for a bit. And then the trade would run in my favor all the way to the target that I had set out. And I'd think, oh, why didn't I just get back on that trade again? The fear, anything that keeps you on the sidelines, keeps you out of trades, it's fear and doubt and uncertainty. And you just think, why is it so hard? You're looking at strategies and charts that are really colors, pictures. It should be a lot simpler than it seems to be. So why is it so incredibly hard? Well, the thing is that Mark Douglas actually says it in his book, Trading in the Zone. And I'm going to read this phrase to you. In fact, before I read you the phrase, the biggest mistake I think most people that aren't profitable yet make is that they believe that trading is for experts, that it's an intellectual pursuit, that you can learn enough about the markets and about your strategy and about economics and whatever it is, and you can then trade well. But trading is actually not about being an expert. It's not an intellectual pursuit. It's actually very much an emotional activity. And at the end of the day, it is a form of gambling. Now, it's not degenerate gambling. It's not like you're going in and putting everything on red. There is some, it's professional gambling. So if you were a professional poker player, you wouldn't just be taking a bet on any hand of cards. You'd know which cards have the right probabilities to bet on. There's a huge difference between me going to play a bit of poker for fun tonight with some friends and blowing $30 or $40 on it versus a professional poker player going and buying in $5,000 at a high stakes table. They've got a plan, a strategy, a system that makes them a professional, and they trade that system, and the better professionals always trade their system. And Mark Douglas talks about this all the time in his book, and it may be missed. I think I definitely missed it in my first few reads. But the principle that and I've got a few, but this is the principle that is, I think, the most important to start taking to heart as a trader. Each prediction that results from my analysis is always a guess. Okay, so just think about that. Each prediction that results from your analysis is always a guess. And when you can accept that, it's that your analysis puts you in, it's the best possible guess, but it's still a guess because price could still go up or down. Okay, it then takes away that feeling of, it takes away that onus on you to be right, to be the expert. And in theory, it should then take away the expectation that you should always be right and you can't be wrong, or that you've been wrong. You can't be wrong. If it's a guess, if it's always a best guess, you can't ever be wrong. And so you can take away that expectation and that fear of being wrong, and that being so hard on yourself and going and spending hours of analysis after your trade didn't work out. It means that you are free. It frees you up to just take the next trade. So when I lost that trade because I didn't re-enter, even though I had a new entry, it's because I got to the point where I just went, oh my gosh, I must be wrong. I must not know what I'm doing. I must not have analyzed this properly. Whereas if my belief was, it's just a guess, those guesses were wrong, the next guess, it tells me I need to take a guess. So my strategy is saying, yes, this is worth a guess here. You take the guess, and then it's out of your hands. It's not your fault. And it actually frees you up to just trade your strategy, because every time is just a guess, but you're just putting the edge slightly on your side for that guess to be right. And when you can actually take that to heart, and that's what Mark Douglas says in his book, Trading in the Zone. Go and read it again and again and again, because what he's telling us there is that trading is a professional form of gambling. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a fantastic career. I love being a trader, but I am placing bets on my best guess based on my strategy, and that's as good as it can be. I can never be an expert to know that this will happen and that will happen. We never know. Every time you show up, it's a guess, but over time, your strategy, the odds of your strategy will shine through, and that's the beauty of it. So if you like this and you think it might help you, then subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell so that you get all the notifications for when I post new videos, and I hope you enjoyed this.